Hi, welcome to Western Window. I'm Patrick Dizney. Today in studio we have Do Ho Suh, a sculptor and artist currently living in London, who has a fantastic piece that's actually being installed here at Academic West on Western Washington University. So, Do Ho, did you come right from London?
No, I was in San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah,
So on vacation time, or are you doing some work?
No,
or?
I just had another opening reception at the UC San Diego.
Fantastic.
I just completed one project there.
Fantastic. You grew up in Seoul, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then you decided to go to Rhode Island School of Design. And you went there initially to study, or intentionally to study, not sculpture at that time, but you had a different medium?
Right,
in?
painting. I also went to art school in Seoul before I went to Dizney, and I studied traditional Korean painting. As a painting major, you have to take non-major courses, like at least one courses each semester. The very popular classes filled up quite fast. I had no choice but this course called Figures in Contemporary Sculpture. And I thought that was a traditional figurative, sculpture class, and but it was not. And that was actually probably a turning point for me from painter to sculptor. So.
That's nice. So it's almost not by accident, but that enforced liberal arts education of getting a broad perspective kind of drove you at least a little bit to explore that medium.
Right.
And that's great. I had the opportunity to look at, unfortunately, just a small sampling of some of your very compelling work. And anyway, I just love it. But I found this really kind of interesting dichotomy between fairly subtle work that seems fairly subtle, and then extremely bold on the other end of the spectrum. And I'm just curious if what inspires, what moves you. Is it, how do these things happen?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I have this very macho side, and also very feminine side. And I think I sort of go back and forth, and between those two poles. And for example, my fabric pieces, it's it's fabric and sewing, and it's quite delicate and feminine. But there's other pieces, well, it's partially it's coming from my upbringing and the environment that I grew up in Korea. So, like a mandatory military service, and those things sometimes more important and just shows in the work.
I'm just curious about your relationship with Western Washington. How we were so fortunate to have how this came about. To be honest with you,
No, I'm the one who's feel honored to be invited to the to the collection here. The Western Washington University has very strong public art collection, and UC San Diego has also a very strong one. And the collection is so strong. For example, you have Bruce Nauman's amazing Bruce Nauman's piece, and Richard Serra, so on and so forth. And so for me, it was a great honor to be part of that gang.
I was wondering if you might have any words of advice to our young artists that are working here at Western Washington.
Well, I can tell, because the education in the States, generally speaking, is quite different than what I had in Korea, and I think it's much better education here in U.S. And I think so. You guys should be proud of, you know, the education system in the States. Being an artist is not an easy thing, and I think probably one of the most important thing is like keeping your sanity, because there's a lot of difficulties that you will have to face, and also because it's all about fun in my mind. Because if you don't, when you're making art, if it is not fun, I mean, there's no, what's the point? And so keeping yourself entertained by your own art or practice is, I think, probably the best way to keep your sanity. So that would be my advice.
That's great. Sanity, always important. Do Ho Suh, thank you
Great.
very much
Thank you.
for joining us. Best of luck, and we look forward to your opening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks so much for joining us. Stay tuned for more Western Window.